And we are back with yet another episode of R&R. It's Jamerson Ballard. I'm the host. Happy Monday. Yeah. Let's give a round of applause for that. Yeah, happy Monday. I mean, I'm here at a reasonable time. To be perfectly honest, though, I've been lapped by my schedule. I'm so far behind. I'm actually on time again. This is a real confession. But I'm actually planning on doing maybe 2 episodes this week. So I'm gonna get through this. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a nice, juicy episode for y'all. So hurry up and watch the whole thing before Thursday because I'm gonna give y'all another one. And I don't know how regularly I'll be able to do that, but that's always been the goal to be able to give y'all 2 episodes a week. You know what I mean? So round of applause for that. But yeah, man. Shout out to the Rant Gang. Shout out to the Capital Letter Club. We here, man. Got a lot of things to talk about. Today's title episode is entitled "To Snitch or Not to Snitch," and is that even a question? I mean, we're gonna get into some things when we get into the celebrity spotlight portion of the show. We'll definitely address how I feel and what I'm thinking about the Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Man fiasco, where he's man. But I'm gonna save it. Right now, we got some things that are going on. Uh, we already know how Jamerson feels about Easter, and that if you haven't heard it, we're not supposed to. It's I don't, how we got the name Easter. A lot of people don't even wonder why. I wonder why. Did a show about it. It's you're celebrating a whole different god, goddess Esther or something from the Mesopotamian situation, which is basically uh Nimrod's mama. And yeah, the fertility goddess eggs. They used to write on their eggs with blood instead of just regular. It's a whole thing, and it's evil. But they've merged it with godlike things, and I mean by God, I mean they're not talking about the God that I'm talking about. But you don't really know. I a lot of it I heard has to do with the Catholic Church, allegedly. So I might do an expose on that going forward, but I really want to try to get into actually being into the algorithm before I cancel, get myself canceled. I mean, but I really don't, whatever. It's R&R, man. We here. Um, but so yeah, if you've done all that, right? You've done the thing with the kids. Um, they will come in kind of softly because there's some stuff that I didn't know. Apparently, there is. Oh, okay. First, is that right? Is that right? Is brought to you in part by Kids, the urban shoe brand, brought to you by yours truly. I'll leave a link in the description for that so y'all can see those. But there is another shoe being released on the horizon as we speak, right? Uh, but y'all stay tuned for that. It'll, we'll probably get to that later on in the summer. But right now, we got to deal with this. Okay, so somebody said something about synthetic chocolate, and it's like, damn, bro, they didn't fucked up the chocolate. They didn't cut the chocolate, and they got it fake now. It's been approved and shit. And it's like you're not gonna hear anybody talking about this. You heard it here first, probably. But you got to watch that now. You know, it's it's crazy, man. So I'm gonna let this. Uh, I'm gonna let my, the internet's my co-host right now. I'm gonna let her tell you what's going on, and then I'll expound on it. Let me find out which video. 'Cause I got several videos here, y'all. Several. So, that's, mm, that's the newer one. Y'all bear with me. Hmm. Did I not put it up? I'm pretty sure I put it up. Yeah. We got here we go. Oh, sorry. That's not it. Back to the video. And select it like that. That's how you select it. That's how you do it. All right. So y'all, man, hold on to your thinking caps.
After what I just learned, I am never letting my baby girl eat another Cadbury bunny. Lab-grown chocolate is now a thing. Oreo, Cadbury, and Toblerone are already funding overseas biotech companies producing it because lab is cheaper than farm-grown always. My daughter got a Cadbury egg in her basket last year. I looked at the ingredients and immediately threw it away, which is exactly.
So you always want to read the ingredients of the stuff that you're and your children are consuming. And here we go.
Exactly what you should do. That dairy milk isn't even legal chocolate in 27 countries. The cocoa butter was replaced with vegetable fat, a cheap blend of 6 industrial seed oils. That's right. Then they dilute it with polyglycerol, flavor it with petroleum-derived vanilla to mask the waxy taste and wrap it in foil. Real chocolate, 100% cacao, is loaded with polyphenols, magnesium, and antioxidants.
You niggas need to get familiar with the term with polyphenols. You understand me? It's some life changing shit going on with a polyphenol. You hear me? Polyphenols, nigga.
It's literally medicine. But the second you replace it with seed oils and synthetic flavors, you turn it into poison. This Easter, skip the bunny. After what I just learned, I am.
So yeah. Um Gotta get rid of those synthetics. They're terrible. They're terrible. Um we don't eat a lot of candy at my house. So there are sweets from time to time. A lot of time they're homemade. Uh and my son is got some sweets going on right now, man. Y'all might want to check those out. I'm not even gonna plug them on here right now. But they coming soon, you understand me? Um Shout out to him. But anyway, yeah, so we got some other things that are going on that are like bigger. Um, they say that they got a rocket ship headed towards the moon. It's not going to land on the moon. It's going to go around the moon. It's going to circle around the moon and come back. I don't even understand what the purpose of that is. You have to excuse me, but maybe it's just to see if we can get out of space. I don't know, but they out there fucking around. That's going on. But here on the ground, it's a lot of weird shit going on that, you know, some of us might not be able to put our hands on or to understand what's really going on. It's some shit going on in the water too. shit going on in the water. Apparently, it's dope in the water. We got sharks that they getting fucked up out there in the water, and it's probably our fault. I don't know. We finna see because I didn't look at the whole thing. I kind of seen that and decided that we need to know about that. That what the fuck is going on? Because our aquatic friends are important to us, bro. I wish we could. I mean, I don't know if we want to know. I mean, if we could, can you imagine what kind of shit we would find out if we could chop it up with dolphins, though, for real? Like, our, they swim and they, what's going on down there? Like, can they tell us secrets about the earth that we need to know? You know what I mean? I heard that in the, before the, was it before this, when it was in the garden, that they could talk to animals too. Like Adam, you know what I mean? Chop it over the animals. So I don't know how true that is. If you can link where that might be found in some of the other books, leave that in the comments and let me know for all of you who might be scholarly in that respect. But I'm saying, like, I'm pretty sure it's not in the regular Bible. It'd probably have to be in, like, I don't know. I'm reading Jasher right now. And you, what? Anyway. So yeah, let me know. I might have to TikTok that to see. Um, but yeah, in the water, man. They got the dope in the water, man. If y'all went to service last night, let me know like what y'all service was about when y'all went to church this weekend, man. I'm kind of curious how that it went down at the church. It was an actual really decent service. I you know I was moved, but let me hear what y'all was talking about. Which way y'all came out, man. Leave that in the comments, man. Let me see. Share my screen. We're gonna talk about these drugged up sharks, though, man. You know, I seen some shit about Bigfoot. I don't know where to go with that. But this is real. This is happening. So we here on R&R, real nigga rant. So we finna rant about some shit that's real. I know other shit right now. Pause this. Take it back to the beginning. All the way from the gym.
I don't know. This next story kind of sounds like the plot of a horror movie, but
Right.
it is all true. Sharks testing positive for drugs in the crystal clear waters of the Bahamas. We're talking painkillers, caffeine, cocaine. According to a new study that was published in the
Bahamas. What they say? The Bahamas gone? They said like cocaine, like caffeine and shit. I don't give a fuck about caffeine. Is cocaine in there? That's what I heard. That's
Journal of Environmental Pollution, scientists captured and tested 85 sharks across multiple species near a remote island in the Bahamas. And scientists say about 1/3 of those sharks tested had detectable levels of drugs in their blood. Now, this is serious because researchers say they're concerned about what constant exposure to these chemicals could do to the shark's health and to the balance of the entire marine ecosystem. And maybe more importantly, if the drugs will make their sharks more aggressive towards people. So is it safe to go back into the water? For that, I want to bring in Dr. Tracy Fanara. She's an environmental engineer and research scientist. Thank you so much for taking the time. Natural first question.
If you out there with the sharks, I don't give a fuck if they on dope or not. Get the fuck out the water. Are they aggressive towards humans? If they ain't, if they getting doped up and they can't get no more dope, yes, they are aggravated. You know what I'm saying? They aggravated, and you're gonna have to throw another kid dope in the water for them to feel something, man. I don't even know if they can feel shit. Like they just out here. You want to know what a high shark? You know what I mean? Because it's like if you're a high human, everything is a good idea. You might not even, you trip like, man, I wonder what that nigga foot tastes like, and then you did. I mean, you know what? I take that back. If they on powder, they almost for sure not hungry. They're not hungry for shit. They just trying to find some more dope or some shark pussy. That's it. That's it. That's all they want. And they ain't finna get no sleep. They might need you to pour some beer in the motherfucking water so you can even out a little bit.
Is how are the drugs getting to the sharks? Are tourists flushing them? Throwing them in the water? Are they being dumped by smugglers? And also, how are they in such a form that they can be readily ingested?
All great questions, and it depends where you are because in a previous study in Brazil, we found
Bro,
that
why the fuck is her face so big? It's like ovular. It's like she got a football face, bro. The head pointing at the top. She got the damn near Jay Leno chin, but she got the wideness in the face. Like I don't know, bro. I don't know whose niece is this? Ooh, shit.
it was likely that sharks were being exposed due to illicit activities, very highly concentrated urban wastewater. In the more
Why is her ears completely covered by hair? That motherfucker's probably big too. Oh man, she's not a bad looking female, but in the neck little, so she got a big ass face and a little neck.
recent study in the Bahamas, these substances were found in their shark.
She probably ain't got no. She be talking about fish. She got shit hanging up. She talking about fish all the time and shit. She probably smell like fish. Like pH balance.
Shark's blood, which means that they were likely consistently or chronically exposed to these chemicals at very low levels, so likely from wastewater overflows, septic. One study says that about 85% of the wastewater entering the coastal waters is either poorly treated or completely untreated, allowing a lot of the pharmaceuticals that are flushed down the toilet and from septic systems, both.
That's about all I want to dedicate to this. I've heard enough. Yeah, the wastewater ain't treated properly, so the sharks is getting fucked up out there. Next on the agenda, let me see. Let me make sure this internet don't just start playing shit. This motherfucker want to start playing the next video. I don't get that shit, but anyway, yeah, man, we got that shit going on. There is. Ooh, shit. Okay. You see how the internet just start trying to play shit without my permission and shit? That shit nothing. Can't have that. All right. So keeping it on Earth right now. We got some real shit going on. I don't know if y'all know this, man, but they trying to add. Well, you know what? Let's go here. So we got drugs on it. Drugs in the water. Then they got a new drug in the land. You know what I mean? It's a new drug alert on the land. And this is out, I think, out here in Oklahoma City or Oklahoma. So we definitely want to keep an eye on what's going on with that. Let's go here to see what's going on with that because that's important. Okay, a new deadly drug out in Oklahoma. That's crazy. I'm pretty sure now by now, I don't know how new this drug is. I'm pretty sure it's an old drug, probably remixed with something that's gonna make it to where, let me guess, they can't fix it, like get you out of your little highness with Narcan. That's what's been going on lately. I'm gonna get you high. I'm gonna get you real high. I'm gonna get you so high, you for sure you gonna die. and niggas is still doing it. I don't know why. I don't know why they would still want to do a drug when it's like the chance of you dying is like damn near 50-50. But they, here we go. We're gonna see what they talk about,
man. Matters. Fox 23 News at 9 starts right now.
We're getting more answers about the new deadly synthetic opioid hitting the streets of Oklahoma. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Shay Rozzi.
And I'm Nathan Thompson. The drug is called cyclorphine, and it's already been linked to at least one Oklahoma overdose death of an 18-year-old in Yukon. Fox 23's Paris Rain joins us live in studio after talking to the OBN and a local nonprofit that helps people facing addiction. Paris, they say this new synthetic opioid is way worse than fentanyl.
That's right, Shay and Nathan. Officials say this is one of many variations of black market synthetic opioids that have made their way into the state of Oklahoma. Officials say at this point, never assume a pill is what it looks like.
We all really thought that fentanyl was a huge deal and that was really bad. Now we have this new deadly synthetic opioid that is way worse than fentanyl. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, it seems like almost every few days or weeks we see a new synthetic drug or designer drug hitting the streets here in the United States, including here in Oklahoma, whether it's a new version of fentanyl or a new synthetic opioid such as the nitazines. And we've identified over a dozen different types of synthetic nitazines now. And then cyclorphine, and we've already seen variations of cyclorphine.
Mark Woodward with the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics says cyclorphine can be 10 times stronger than fentanyl.
And a lot of these users think they're buying Oxy or Xanax, but it turns out to be fentanyl or cyclorphine or some other type of counterfeit. And that's what we believe happened in this case. These pills that were involved in this overdose death of an 18-year-old in Yukon, side by side, you probably couldn't tell that they were not oxycodone.
More than 24 states have reported overdoses and deaths linked to cyclorphine since 2024. And now Oklahoma has been added to the list.
Do you think that sobriety organizations or even like emergency services are equipped to handle what's to come with this new drug entering Oklahoma?
No, unfortunately, a lot of these new drugs, including cyclorphine, can be so strong that Narcan's not going to work. And so that is very concerning and even testing for it. If you have fentanyl test strips, this typically is not going to show up. And so it bypasses some of our traditional.
Now that's scary as fuck. Because if you're out there doping and you didn't, you caught yourself being slick, you didn't went and got the little strips to see if the dope you bought got fentanyl and it don't got nothing in it. You like, yes, it's the real pill. I'm about to get fucked up. And you got this shit. And you overdo it and you can't get snapped out of it. That's fucking scary as fuck. So yeah, kids, don't do drugs. Parents, don't do drugs. I mean, I know you grown and shit, but it's just getting too motherfucking dangerous, man, to get fucked up out here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Safeguards, whether that's fentanyl strips, Narcan. And so that is very concerning that we're seeing more and more of these new types of drugs that we're not even going to know are in Oklahoma until we get an autopsy report.
Light of Hope CEO Nancy Phelps says education and awareness will be key as Oklahoma faces this emerging threat.
With the research and the outreach that
I'm not supposed to do this, but Nancy like a fucking bulldog, like a British bulldog in the face. And I hope that whoever her family is, they don't take this personally. I'm just cracking jokes, but shit, jowls. Woo, shit.
with the prevention and the awareness that we're going to bring to the community. Our town halls, the outreach we have in communities and in schools and universities throughout the area, it will look differently than it has in the past. And thankfully, we have panels of professionals that are dealing with on the streets in the prevention, whether it's medical, law enforcement, organizations like ours, and we'll have up-to-date information, as up-to-date as what there's possible at this point.
They're urging Oklahomans to stay informed and talk with their families about the dangers and be aware of your resources.
Her name is Paris Rain. That's not too bad.
OBN has drug disposal boxes for any leftover medications you need to get rid of, and Light of Hope has Narcan trainings and opioid awareness town halls for the community. Live in studio covering news.
Well, y'all, hey, watch what you consume. Watch what your kids is consuming. I mean, you know, this ain't no right way to do wrong shit. Look like, man. In other news, we got a nigga out here planting bombs and shit again, bro. Planting bombs. So we got to talk about that shit. I mean, this is all dangerous shit. I'm not trying to depress nobody. It's going on, man. Is that right? And this is happening. This is some shit that you might, encounter. I'm not exactly sure what city and state this is in yet, but we're about to find out together. These motherfuckers be looking suspicious, but yeah.
Right now at 5, neighbors say they've heard that boom before. The man under investigation for making and using bombs, which led to a street shutting down yesterday. And you won't believe how many police say they found in his home. Good evening. I'm Christine Johnson.
Welcome back. I'm Jessica Moore. A White Plains man is accused of using a weapon of mass destruction after that explosive incident that we first told you about yesterday.
A federal prosecutor says investigators found 25 pipe
New York
bombs.
New York is playing the game. They got their game together. They playing the game. They got the lady. They got the white lady. She's mature, but she's not looking crazy. You know what I mean? She's very thin. And they got I'm pretty sure she's Hispanic or something, but she's very, fair skinned. And also, not too young, but not too old. So they playing the political game the right way, the way that they see the.
Inside his apartment, Tony Aiello was in federal court as the charges were announced.
In a courtroom at the White Plains Federal Building, a prosecutor said it was, quote, a miracle 65-year-old Raymond Elders didn't injure or kill someone. Quote, his behavior was dangerous, flagrant, and reckless.
I come back, FBI and the bomb squad is outside of our house.
About 4-ish in the morning, it was a boom.
Residents on Odell Avenue say they've heard frequent small explosions in the area, but 2 big ones on Monday brought White Plains police, the FBI.
You doing explosives at 4 in the morning. It ain't no safe time to do explosives, brother. It ain't like everybody sleeping, nobody gonna hear. Nigga, they heard it. They heard the shit, man. You trying to see if your shit working. Yes, nigga.
FBI and ATF. They searched Elder's apartment at 11 Odell Avenue. Prosecutors say they found supplies to make explosives and 25 complete pipe bombs. When White Plains police took Elders into custody, the feds say he had black and blue residue on his hands and was holding a lighter. The prosecution also says this March 18th surveillance video shows Elders light a device, throw it, and walk back home before it explodes.
We just want to be safe where we live, and in this day and age with all this terrorists, who knows?
Residents are relieved and anxious for a quiet sense of normalcy to return to their street.
I think the city should kind of rethink, how much security we have in this kind of neighborhoods and do something about it.
Elders faces a total of 5 counts, including 2 for possessing explosives after a felony conviction. His lawyer says he has a history of drug and alcohol addiction. The prosecutor called his alleged actions the height of recklessness. The judge ordered he be held in federal custody.
Yeah, you blowing shit up, bro. You ain't just going to regular jail, okay? Now you entered into, terroristic area. You're going to the feds. And I don't know. He looked like he's struggling. Maybe he wanted to go to the feds. Maybe he wanted to get busted. Maybe he's bored. But that little shuffle he did when he threw the bomb, like that motherfucker. Well, you blowing shit up in the middle of the afternoon. Yeah, that ain't cool, man. That's not cool. And that could be your neighbor. So I would look for niggas. They got fingers missing and shit. Because, you blowing shit up. You done fucked up sometime or another. And, that's just something you might want to look at. Now, I ain't seen every nigga that got a finger missing blowing shit up. But, hey, man. You got to watch it. We got some shit going on out in Florida. Yeah. Shit going on out in Florida. So y'all ladies in Florida, you might want to tighten up a little bit, man. Because there's somebody out there killing women. And you don't want to die. You don't want to die. You don't want to die. You on the app. You trying to find some love and shit. But maybe you need to get your motherfucking ass off the map for a minute if you live in Florida, especially. Because again, it's a motherfucker out there killing bitches.
This isn't the first time something like this has happened in our area. Reporter Rachel Perry has been looking into similar cases we've seen locally.
Man.
This is the third case we've covered just in the last 4 months involving what officials are.
Sorry. That lady on the beginning of what the fuck was her face looking like? Let's run that shit back. Hold on. Let's go.
This isn't the first time something.
What the fuck is that? Whoa. Those are very manly features. I mean, that's a handsome bitch. I mean, ooh-wee, her daddy, boy. I'm not saying that it's not a real woman. I'm just saying if it is, which I'm sure it could be, it's scary though. Because it's like, ugh, that nigga was ugly. Nah, let me stop. That nigga looked like a gargoyle, look. Somebody let him hit, and he had her. And that shit is unfortunate. But let's go.
Like this has happened in our area. Reporter Rachel Perry has been looking into similar cases we've seen locally.
This is the third case we've covered just in the last 4 months involving what officials are calling a random attack. In each case, the victim has been a woman, and all of them have happened in public. Just days before Christmas, police say Antonio Moore walked into a Palm Beach Gardens Barnes & Noble bookstore and stabbed a woman. The victim, Rita Londrich, died
All right,
a
bro.
short time.
I'm black. But if a nigga walk in anywhere around me looking like this, I am on high alert, bro. This nigga hair ain't done. He ain't had no mustache trim in a decade, bro. That nigga mustache hair long than a bitch. Okay? If your nigga has something to eat, it's gonna be caught all in that mayonnaise and shit, beer drippings, all of that is in this nigga's lip here, okay? I'm on high alert. I'm pretty sure niggas' nails ain't cut. His hygiene probably ain't together. Who was working at a place and let this nigga in and didn't stop this nigga from coming in or something? Damn.
Died a short time later. Court records show Moore told police he didn't know her and stabbed her only because she was the closest person to him. Officials deemed it a random attack. 2 months later, on a Martin County beach, officials say a woman was attacked by a complete stranger while talking on the phone.
He said nothing. He literally didn't say a peep. Nothing. He just grabbed my phone, threw it, and then just started attacking me.
Investigators say Alexander Hernandez Gonzalez dragged the woman into the ocean and held her underwater. He was arrested
That
on an
nigga
attempted
look
murder
like
charge.
right. That's the nigga that stabbed a bitch or that tried to kill that bitch at these. Hey, he probably walked like he, up to something. If you seen him, he that quiet. Y'all motherfuckers better start paying attention to your surroundings.
That leads us to Thursday afternoon when this quiet Stewart community turned into a crime scene. Martin County Sheriff John Boonseek says an elderly woman was stabbed to death while walking her dog.
At this point, this appears like an extremely violent.
Look at this motherfucker, man. Look at this sleepy motherfucker, man. Bro, all these, with the exception of the last dude, these two dudes, they don't look like they finna get no coochie from nobody. So they probably already mad, bro. Big as hell. He attacked the bride too. Damn. Look at this big goofy looking ass.
An extremely violent, random act of violence.
I spoke with a former police officer and safety expert who says things like concealed carry and pepper spray are good tools to have, but he encourages people to also use the buddy system.
You just don't know when that's going to happen. So sticking together is really important. Most attackers are rarely going to go after, a pair two.
Saying being aware and prepared can save your life.
What you want to do is make sure that any potential suspect that's approaching you, you're aware that they're there and that you're going to take action. You're not laying down as a victim. That's the most important thing you can do.
He also tells me it appears everyone nearby did the right thing by calling 911, saying it's important not to victim blame, but instead encourage others to take steps to protect themselves. For
I ain't finna victim blame, but you gotta watch these motherfuckers, man. And apparently it don't matter if they are funny looking or handsome or whatever. You just gotta watch motherfuckers, man. You gotta pay attention to your surroundings, bro. And it's nothing that can compensate for that because you want to prevent things before they happen. But yeah, them shit. Two of them motherfuckers look like what the fuck, and I don't know what's going on with the other one, but motherfucker that's too quiet is kind of concerning to me too. We got that, but we got some shit on the other end of the spectrum too. There's a woman that pressured her boyfriend to kill. We got quite a bit going on. Is that right? But we don't have as much going on in some of the other segments. So we got to get these out. Here we go. I don't even know where this happened at, but this lady, boy, she was. It was talking about the buddy system. Her ass got the buddy system down. These goofy ass dudes be just going for anything too, though.
Authorities have now charged a second person in an apparent domestic dispute where the killer shot down another man execution style.
Nigga did it behind this bitch right here. She got the shit. She's the mastermind of the whole thing. And this bitch look like Brad Pitt, blood. That bitch look like Brad Pitt in the face. Hey. I didn't notice that, bro. She looked like she damn near looked like him, or she slick like Val Kilmer, but she looked like Brad Pitt before he probably did Troy or something with his little hair down and shit.
According to arrest documents, the second person charged was the victim's former lover who ordered his killing. David Hamilton reports.
This picture of victim Anthony Wesley Jr. shows his love of family.
Anthony Wesley Jr. Who was that big bitch he hugging on? That's his ex bitch or something?
He was a great guy. Like I said, everyone loved him. It was.
That was the girlfriend. Ooh, shit. Boy, Zorana. Shit. Was she the one that he was with before he got killed? He went down from her to her?
It was nothing. It's not so much bad to say because you know how you say, you pray for a certain type of man and you finally get it. That's what it was.
East Baton Rouge sheriff investigators arrested Riddick Franklin for shooting Wesley in the back on March 29th at the Jefferson Lakes Apartments. Then documents say Franklin stood over Wesley. And fired for shooting Wesley in the back on.
He shot him in the back. Damn. Bro, look like he got the teeth missing. He don't want to show them motherfuckers, but he who this bitch that put up to shoot this thing.
March 29th at the Jefferson Lakes Apartments. Then documents say Franklin stood over Wesley and fired several more times. For Harris, she says she'll never forget witnessing that scene.
Well, it happened in front of mine, our apartment. So, I was shocked. I'm traumatized. I still see the image, everything.
Investigators now allege that the shooter, Franklin, was romantically involved with Hope Jackson, the mother of victim Wesley's children, who they've now charged with second-degree murder as well. Court records show Wesley and Jackson were in the middle of a custody dispute. As part of that dispute, court was scheduled for next month. According to the affidavit now charging Jackson with second-degree murder, Jackson told Franklin multiple times she wanted Wesley killed because of a dispute involving child support. The affidavit alleges Jackson told Franklin, quote, "I want him OV." Authorities say OV is street slang for eliminating or killing someone.
That's all she had to say. And that nigga was like, all right, baby, you heard me? I got you, heard me. Damn.
Because, these are your kids' father. And why would you want to put your kids through that?
Harris mourns not only Wesley's death, but that this dispute escalated to such violence.
And Anthony could have talked it over and maybe, came to a conclusion or whatever it was that they had going on with the kids. Like, it didn't have to come to this. He didn't have to lose his life.
In addition to second-degree murder, the accused gunman Franklin faces
Bradley. Bitch look like Brad Pitt face, bro.
charges of illegal use of a firearm, possession of a firearm, and obstruction of justice. Hope Jackson was booked in jail facing second-degree murder charges. Authorities have now charged a second person in an apparent
That's it, bro. Well, I guess that's, because she didn't do it, but that nigga let her put him up to that shit, bro. It's probably, I don't know. That coach was probably fired that nigga, man. Couldn't be me, bro. Yeah, that's that happened in Baton Rouge, man. We got a couple more things. And is that right, man? It's I don't know, man. It's alleged that they trying to take the gas from 10% ethanol to 15% ethanol, man, because the gas prices and shit. I don't know how y'all feel about that. I don't know. I don't feel like that shit's cool. I don't use ethanol gas anyway. If I can avoid it, I do, and I have. But you know, they finna bring it up, and I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel about that. I'm finna let them tell y'all what the pros and cons are for that. And then we'll talk about it a little bit more because it really sounds like it's unnecessary for them to change shit, but they finna do shit to make y'all feel better about not having no gas or whatever. And it's like they basically saying that the shit burn hotter, so it's burning
Cons of
really
adding more.
saving you no money. But I'm gonna let them tell y'all scientifically. Y'all might not believe me. Y'all think I'm just saying shit. I don't know what I'm talking about. So if I can just get this, yeah, okay, there you go.
A consumer alert tonight. Anyone who drives, you know the pain of the higher gas prices. It's pretty universal. So one government agency has a temporary solution, but it's not permanent and it could cause some problems.
The KSLE's Kim DeGomo tells us about the pros and cons of adding more ethanol to your gas.
I feel horrible about it. Hell, it's hurting my pocket.
$10, $15 don't even move my gas.
I guess it hurts your pocketbook a little bit.
Many Americans across the nation are fed up with paying for higher gas prices. The Environmental Protection Agency is temporarily switching to gasoline with more ethanol, increasing the amount from 10% to 15%. The EPA says this will help bring down gas prices, but Charles Williamson, owner of Bossier Power Equipment, says E15 burns faster than regular gas, possibly.
That looked like Bossier to me, but Bossier, maybe this bitch, I don't know.
Causing more trips to the pump.
But what a lot of folks don't realize, when you go to that higher ethanol, guess what? Your fuel mileage and performance comes down too. So you don't really save anything.
Williamson says E15 can damage smaller engines, putting lawn care equipment, smaller motor vehicles, and older cars at risk.
It can actually kill an engine because, like I said, when the ethanol starts separating out of the fuel, it basically turns to sugar form is what it does. So it'll start eating the engines up. It'll damage carburetors and fuel systems.
One woman says she's not willing to take that risk.
I don't think it's worth it, especially if it will tear up any vehicle that's over.
Bro, I'm sorry, but whoever this is in the back, what the fuck? You know, with that hair, like, what's the nigga that played the high school dance, bro? That was he played he played with Mike Epps as Baby Powder's assistant pimp. What is brother's name? He's stiff too. Oh man, I'm trying to blank on his name, bro. Oh man, I just had it too. I seen him on 5150 before. Oh man. But he this is what she giving right now, bro. If you what is his name, bro? I can't think of it right now, man. I might think of it in a second. I don't want to drag the show. I'm trying to think of his name, man. But y'all know what I'm talking about. And was he on High School Dance too? I think he was on High School Dance. The nigga that was stuttering. Damn, I can't think his name, bro. I don't think it was a bit though.
15 to 20 years. My truck is over 15 years old.
Another risk from E15, LSUS professor Peter Siska says it's smog.
The more ethanol we have in gas, the more vapor is being produced. We have more smog and becomes part of our breathing process and attacks, irritates the lungs.
There are some people who aren't willing to let that happen.
I prefer to pay the regular gas price than put something in my vehicle that's going to harm the environment or my vehicle.
Overall, drivers believe the temporary solution is not worth the possible problems that come with it.
You can expect to see these changes happening on May 1st. Reporting in Shreveport Bossier, this is Kim Nagomo, KSLA News 12.
Groncho. That's his name, bro. They got bro, government on here, but it's Groncho, aka Anthony McKinley. That's who she looked like, bro. Shut up. Anyway. All right, so that's going on. That happened. I think the last thing I got is that right is nah, it's not the last thing. All right, so we got two more things, right? Right now, there are a lot of teens out there doing like crash outs and shit, but there is something else that's going on with teens that a lot of people probably ain't talking about, and it's called bone smashing. Yeah, listen, man. I don't know how y'all feel about adults roasting children, but I had to get on these kids' head at Easter, man. I had to get on. I had to get on them, man. I had to roast. I roasted them pretty hard, but I gave them a head start, right? And it started because I think my sister-in-law was saying that these kids nowadays ain't that bright, and they was kind of going in, and I kind of, walked in. They was kind of getting on her a little bit, and they was trying to, side bet on me some, and so I let them get out there a little bit far, and I got on them, but they not. I don't know. These kids is under some other shit, bro. I don't know if this is. I'm pretty sure this is dangerous. I'll let him explain it to y'all, but it's called bone smashing, and they're basically trying to pound their faces into some type of, it's like making themselves more attractive. Uh, they're hitting their faces with hammers and shit like that, bro. Try to break their bones up and make it either smaller or bigger. I guess I don't know. Let me see. Let me show you.
A new and dangerous trend is spreading on social media. Young men are hitting themselves in the face with hard objects, trying to reshape their bone structure.
It's called bone smashing, and it's part of a broader so-called looks maxing movement. News 8's Alex Light talked to a doctor today about the risk of permanent damage and joins us live with details. Alex, this is kind of troubling.
Carlo, that's right. It's pretty weird to think that people are taking hammers and actually hitting themselves in the face, trying to find a more chiseled look. And if you're wondering if people are actually doing this, well, a quick search on Instagram or TikTok shows just how widespread this has become.
This is day 7 of bone smashing.
Using hammers, trophies, or just their hands. People are posting videos of themselves hitting their cheekbones, jawlines, and chins, all chasing a more defined look.
For the past 7 days, I've been bone smashing, and now, as you can tell, there's a little bit of bruises here.
Supporters claims it works based on Wolff's Law, the idea that bones can change shape under stress. But doctors say that's a big misunderstanding.
This can be very dangerous.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's a smart thing to do at all.
I spoke with board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgeon Dr. Young Jun. He says Wolff's Law is real and our bones can remodel over time, but not like this.
Look at this goofy motherfucker, bro. Look at these dudes, bro. They hitting their faces with hammers and shit, trying to recreate their facial structure. I don't even know what to say to that shit, bro. It's dumb, but here we go. Let's see what the doctor has to say about what kind of dumb permanent damage they can do doing this dumb shit.
Under certain stress, our bones do change and modify, but this is not stress, or this is not, doing the right thing. This is basically self-induced trauma.
The short-term risks alone are severe.
You could break your facial bones, nerve damages, You could have bite changes, and you'll definitely need plates and screws and to correct the fracture that you get.
Long term, Dr. Jun says bone smashing can cause concussions, vertigo, and even CTE, plus the possibility of permanent nerve and muscle damage.
There's a sensory nerve right here, and there's motor nerves that run this way. So if you damage those, like I said, you could look like you have Bell's palsy for the rest of your life.
So while some people on social media may say otherwise,
this is how bone smashing got me this.
doctors are strongly warning against it.
Self-induced trauma is not the right thing to do to have a better shape of your face.
And Dr. Jun says there's no real way to reshape your facial structure like that. The only way to do it is to go through healthcare professionals, mostly surgeries or fillers, and trying to do it yourself will most likely just reshape your medical bills. Pass it back to you guys.
That's for sure. And man, hey, kids, stop doing dumb shit, man. But parents, look at you got a motherfucker that's obsessed with their beauty and shit. Like, you might want to check and see if they got a hammer in their motherfucking drawer. Go through their shit and see. Last thing I got, man, is a lady that has been found in Arizona that has been missing for 32 fucking years. The lady been missing for 32 years, and they done found the bitch. They done rescued her. I don't know what the fuck is going on. She's been found alive after 32 years. Like, what the fuck? Bro. We finna go through this shit together. I want y'all to see this shit with me. I thought this shit was crazy, chat. Let me share my screen.
Old cold case in Arizona has now been solved. A 13-year-old girl who disappeared nearly 32 years ago has been found alive. The Gila County Sheriff's Office says she had, quote, vanished without a trace from her community. Joining us now is NBC News correspondent Liz Kreutz, who's following this one. Liz, what have authorities said about who this woman is and how she went missing as a teen?
Yeah, hi, Kate. So this woman was 13 years old at the time. Her name is Christina Marie Plante. And according to reports at the time, she was last seen walking from her home in Star Valley, Arizona, which is a rural community about an hour and a half northeast of Phoenix, walking from her home to a nearby horse stable where she had a horse. And that was the last anybody had seen of her, and that she vanished and disappeared. It prompted a huge search at the time locally with law enforcement and volunteers out handing out flyers. But unfortunately, no leads developed, and this case went cold until now, 32 years later. And authorities say they have confirmed her identity and that she has been found alive now at the age of 44.
Man, where the fuck was this bitch at all that time? And why did she tell nobody? Excuse me, y'all. That she was still alive. I mean, what the fuck? You know how mad the motherfucker be?
And Liz, this case went cold, but as I understand it, it was never closed. What do we know about how she was found?
Yeah, so it was never closed. It's one of those things where they always, tried to, find new leads if they could. But we don't really know about the circumstances for how she was abducted and what's happened over the past 3 decades. Police in their statement said that they're withholding more details of this case out of respect for her privacy and her well-being. We were talking to experts who said, look, it's speculative. It could have been that she's been held captive this whole time. It could be she wasn't, but somehow she was told a different story and just recently on her own discovered her identity. Perhaps it could have been a runaway situation, although news clippings at the time do say that they believe she was abducted by a stranger. So a lot we still don't know, but it does show you how advances in technology.
Why wouldn't you just ask the bitch?
can help, because the department did say that they were able to utilize new technologies to find this and to resolve this cold case. And we do have a statement from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which, Kate, I know you've done stories on. We've talked a lot about this group with the case of Nancy Guthrie, and they say in a statement, cases like this are exactly why we do what we do. No matter how much time passes, even decades, we never give up. Because of technology, we're seeing more and more breakthroughs in cases once thought unsolvable. Kate.
All right, Liz, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the.
I'd be mad at them. I mean, you happy that they found the bitch, but you're a grown ass woman. You was missing, bitch. Where the fuck was you at? And who had you? And why didn't you say nothing? This bitch is a retiree now, and they found her, and it's like, oh yeah, we just glad we found you. Like, nah, where the fuck was you at? Looking for your ass. Motherfucker didn't die looking for this bitch, and she just popped up like, oh yeah, here I am. Hella questions, bro. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for Is That Right, man? And I know that's been a lot of stuff, but now we've come to the part everybody's been waiting on, and that is Celebrity Spotlight. Yeah. Today's Celebrity Spotlight was brought to you by not that one yet. We got to do this one first. Because I got a new fragrance out, but I can't do that one yet. We still got to work on getting acquisition. The unisex fragrance brought to you by yours truly. We got to get that out more. That's the fall scent, but right now I'm wearing Debauchery for men. And I'm getting compliments. I should have a commercial pretty soon. I had shot one, but I have to redo it because things about it I didn't like. But yeah, so Is That Right? And I'm sorry, Celebrity Spotlight. We're gonna start off first with Mano is trying to leave. It is what it is, I guess. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. And I thought this was funny as hell because I mean, apparently he can't take it. Always saying the wrong shit and they pausing him all the time, but he did. He had this to say. I wanna get it on the show right quick. So let me share my screen. Let's see what he had to say.
Video on. It's pain in that video. I put up a carousel on my Instagram. That's 90 of like 7-8 girls coming to see me while I was locked up. Okay? Do you know I got into arguments with niggas because they was like, oh, those girls is child.
Whoa. Yeah, they was child, man.
Because they was like, oh, those girls is child. Because I was gonna say that, but
shit.
I
Nigga.
say what, nigga? You
Right.
was gonna say what, nigga?
And I think that he had that kind of energy for Jimmy because he's like, bro, Chrissy is not bad. See? And if I were running the Chrissy, I mean, she's very nice, and it's who Jim wanted. And that's all that really matters. But she not, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's why Mano was looking like that. And, that was just funny.
I'm not. Listen, no.
You try to back about that shit. But yeah, man. Mano was just irritated with the fact that they just kept saying that he kept saying shit that sound like it's just suspect, bro, and he can't keep up, so he trying to get out of being on the motherfucking show. They said the nigga thin, skinny, weak. I'm inclined to agree. And drum roll, please. Listen. 50 Cent then dropped the damn what's it called? A documentary about T.I. and Tiny. And Hulu and a bunch of other networks have been on it. And Hulu won $75 million. And I don't know exactly what T.I. and Tiny had going on, but I think it's 30 plus women that said that they was on some bullshit. And it's about to come out. And Hulu's gonna find it on Hulu. And they got the #1 hit in we're on the radio right now and they dish 50. And all of that is well and good because they gonna need that money to defend themselves publicly, bro. And that's checkmate right there. It's you know what I mean? They still playing checkers but playing chess. And when you have that type of motion, the eyes that are going to be on this project aren't all hip hop fans. These are businesses, things that they might come and eliminate and cut ties with with T.I. and or Tiny because of what's going on in business. I mean, you know what I mean? It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt their reputation. It's going to hurt, and it's going to probably be a long time for they ever recover because there's not a lot of people that want to take risks on people that have been, accused of rape, and they're going to be, outcasts, man. And it's so you better do all the shows that you can now because they're probably going to start canceling. So you forget about a tour for this. That shit's going to be over with. You'll be lucky to be able to go to Vegas and get a residency after this, bro. You'll be very lucky that people will still come see you after this. And it's. I mean, you'll have your core audience. I'm pretty sure SW or whatever group she was in do something they gonna, and they'll probably have questions. They'll be able to, defend themselves on talk shows and make runs that way and probably get somebody like that for a minute, but it's gonna be tight, man. They probably gonna have to live on King and them's little income, whatever the other one is with Dread, on their little income kicking in, bro. If they still stay at home with mommy, because it's about to be ugly. But that's all I got about that. Now, the thing that everybody has been hearing about and seeing, and the title of the show and everything is the snitch or not the snitch. Now they didn't say it 50. I'm sorry. They said T.I. is cooperating, but he blamed it on his dead people. So I guess that's how he got out of that. But Gucci Man, bro. Now we know that Pooh Shiesty was signed to Gucci Man, and Gucci Man was, had Pooh Shiesty on 1017 while he was locked up. But what a lot of people don't know, and I said this in a couple shows previous on Celebrity Spotlight, that when this shit first happened, Big Scar had passed, which Pooh Shiesty's cousin, and Big Scar, when he died, I guess the family expected for Gucci Man to pay for the funeral, and Gucci was like, yeah, nah. I mean, he didn't pay for the whole thing. I think he dropped some on it, And he might have put up like 10 grand, which they say that wasn't enough, but it's like, and it's a Gucci is a businessman now, and I don't know one job if you don't have insurance coverage that would just pay for a funeral if you died on the job because they fuck with you. That's not how this shit works. Niggas have this abnormal expectation that because they struggling, you supposed to just do, and it's like honestly, I don't think it would have hurt Gucci to take care of it. And that's how niggas think, they count the man pockets and shit. They don't know what the man got going on. They don't know what kind of assets he got. Like, as far as like, motherfuckers might not be liquid enough to do this or that like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that he should not have taken care of it. What I'm saying is it was not an obligation of his. I don't know if it's in the contract to say that. I doubt it. But when Gucci dealing with these, these artists that are like in the trenches like that, this is a risk. Now it's also not necessarily so expected for if a rapper get a case for the label to bail him out. It's not necessarily. I mean, it depends on the level of the artist and how the owner feels about his investment. Like, look, I didn't already put up this much, but it's gonna be really hard for me to get my money back at all if he's locked up. So what I'm gonna need to do is get him out so he can get, finish getting this money, pay me, and you can put more in it or not. But it's up to them, business wise. You know what I'm saying? Again, emotions are high. He locked up. This is his cousin. Money, it's probably tight. You know what I mean? Whatever. And Gucci Man and Yo Gotti's got this ongoing feud, which is why Gucci Man has Pooh Shiesty in the first place because he went into Yo Gotti City and got artists. You know what I'm saying? So Yo Gotti put a play together, and he basically enticed Pooh Shiesty with another record deal that was gonna pay him probably 10 times what Gucci's record deal is paying him. So he, I need that 10 mil. You got me in this $1 million deal, this little ass chain, and I need to get out of this deal. So he tried to muscle his way out the deal, supposedly, allegedly. Him, his daddy, Big 30, and whoever else is there. Trying to, they kidnapped Gucci and robbed him. And I don't think Gucci was there by itself. I think Gucci's cameraman and shit was there too, which is what I'm thinking may have happened. And who was actually the one that told because equipment was told to, I think, allegedly. I'm not exactly sure. But and I'm not necessarily trying to defend Gucci altogether. I'm just saying, like, he say he don't really tell. He ain't finna tell. He'll shoot you. Ooh, ooh. But even though, he didn't shoot or whatever, you was leaking. You was lacking. And, as a general, you can't afford to lack. Even you can't just, I don't know. You can't trust people. You're supposed to meet up in Dallas. Who was, not there. I guess he was locked up or, house arrest. But he orchestrated this whole thing. They got all this shit. Let's look at what all they got. They got a lot of shit. Let's hear what these motherfuckers got on. We're not gonna look at the whole thing, but we're gonna
to Memphis.
I feel like this is gonna be kind of dry.
at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The
All them
complaint
names.
alleges that on
All of them names. Demarius, DeMarcus, Trey, you know what I'm saying? The only with the last dude, he's the only one that had a normal name, and he's still on the run.
January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims.
Wow.
The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendants' roles in the federal offense. This is as follows.
Wow.
Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location.
So look, I'm not going to go into all this because but they doing dumb shit. You didn't rob the motherfucker. You got ankle monitors and shit on. You ain't supposed to have none of that shit going on. You've been tracked from here to there, and your ass supposed to be locked up. You know what I mean? Like, he don't give a fuck. Bro, I honestly don't give a fuck. His family on him about not, about Gucci not doing this and that. Gucci had a lot of things working against him in this. And Finesse 2 times crazy ass online talking about he think that the nigga wife put him up to tell him. And that ain't out of the realm of possibility. What I would have to argue though is if Gucci Mane allowed his wife to convince him to tell because he's a mogul now, nigga, there are some pros and cons that's gonna come when you're gonna be home with your family. That's guaranteed. You ain't gonna, but the lifestyle, the thing that got y'all where y'all at, you lose that. You can't put out no more gangster shit if you done told or cooperated. Now he said that he ain't gonna cooperate, and he ain't cooperate, saying that he ain't cooperated. And I don't know who told, bro. Somebody in that motherfucking room that told. I would almost imagine that if you with Gucci and I gotta insist that you don't tell, bro, because we gonna handle it. We're gonna keep it in the street. You need your little, okay, you got insurance on your cameras and shit. Because a lot of niggas are saying that they think the cameraman is the one that told. and that's not outside the realm of possibility either. While Gucci Man online talking about he ain't never taught. Only thing he understand, the only rule he got is keep it in the street. He ain't gonna go to the police, but bro, that shit don't look. It just don't look good, man. And you ain't adamant about, how you ain't said nothing, you ain't did nothing. It's just a lot of hearsay, which I think it it it, it it's got a lot more working against you to me than for you, because like I said, your reputation is everything. Your credibility is everything. The only reason a lot of these so-called street dudes and a lot of these people that want to do business with you and be signed to you is because your street credibility is impeccable, and they want to be. It's like being signed to, you know, Deion Sanders, I guess. If you a nigga that aspire to do street shit, you want to play football. You want to play football with somebody that did great things in football. But I don't know how Gucci is not grooming these young men, or allow, like putting them through some kind of boot camp, or somewhere he can kind of like, look, let me get you out of that state of mind into this business shit, because I want you to be successful in this, not just a street nigga that's dropping music. But I mean, I guess he don't care how they come about or how they go out. He's not developing them as artists. He's just signing them and letting them go, and signing them and letting them go. You know what I'm saying? Because it's probably a lot more. It's easier to find more artists than to actually cultivate an artist, get him to do the right thing, because these niggas is hard headed, man. But apparently, Pooh Shiesty is the hardest head of them all. He's gonna do another 5 years, or however many years he's gonna do for this. Will his reputation still be intact? Yes. Will he be able to sell albums? Possibly. Another 5 years. The best way it's gonna be for him is gonna have to drop music while he locked up over the phone or something, like how a motherfucker used to do. You're gonna have to drop a mixtape over the phone so Yo Gotti can get his money, or he just gonna be out the 10, however much he in, while that nigga in there eating zoom zooms and wham whams, bro. But again, it's just chess, not checkers, so I don't know how far down Yo Gotti's willing to go in order to support Pooh, but Gucci is just in the conundrum. I mean, I don't know. You can't let your woman tell you to tell if it's not in you to tell. Because then, she wearing the pants now. The parts of it are you're a mogul, yes. You are, you run a corporation, yes. But it's all brought about through street credibility. So you can't turn your back on all of that just to kind of get revenge on somebody that's robbed you and stole, your jewelry and shit. You know, you just can't. The only thing you can do though is say that you say you signed it, and when you let the people know, or that the contract that he has now was signed under duress. Is that snitching? No, but it negates the contract. It just burns it up. So you can't. He's not able to get out of it. Women that are trying to get married and are forced to sign um, prenuptials while they're crying also get out of prenuptial agreements, because they basically signed them under duress. So I don't know why he doesn't know that. I mean, when you get to a certain level, you have to pay people to know things that you don't know. This is what it is. I don't see anything wrong with him having security there, or some type of preventative measure to keep him from getting ambushed the way he did. And that's all short sighted on Gucci's part. But snitching is not the way to go to get out of this. I'm not telling you that if you're a person that owns the property and somebody comes in and robs you at your property and you're not in the street business at all, to not call the police. That's not what I'm saying, bro. Because that's not snitching. You're a victim. But you know, Gucci Man got a body, and everybody knows him for shooting at the motherfucker who robbed him or attempted to rob him last time. But he is older now, so he's probably gotten a little softer. If he was somewhere like, maybe like 50 Cent, more like that, he was like constantly in something, he would feel necessary to kind of, yeah, this nigga called me talking about me, know with me, but I'm gonna check this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna circle the block, I'm gonna have this thing, but he just went in and this is going on. It's still Gucci's fault that this happened because of his, short-sightedness. But I don't think that there's really any benefit to snitching other than if maybe you was about to get the electric chair, which is what happened with what's his name? Alpo. Alpo basically brought in another killer, which is the Michael Jordan of murder. And I'm kind of forgetting his name right this second, bro. He was out of DC, a killer out of DC. And let me see if I can get it right quick. His name's kind of important right now. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Murder. That ain't the name. Wayne Perry. Rev brought in Wayne Perry as far as his team, because he was in the kill game. This Alpo we're talking about. And when he got brought down, he leveraged knowing Wayne Perry and his activity and gave up Wayne Perry to get out of getting the death penalty. Now, I'm not saying that that's acceptable, but in that it's life or death. It's not like a number of years that you're gonna get. You're going to get the electric chair. So he swapped that out, got out. He got killed apparently, but allegedly he's still alive. But at any rate, that's it's your life or the next person's life, and under that kind of pressure, motherfuckers gonna tell. You know what I'm saying? A certain number of years, a motherfucker will tell. Apparently, Max B told because he's like, look, he did 15 years. That's enough for him on his brother. I think it's his stepbrother, but it's still his brother. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers will tell, bro. Underneath this, football numbers, all that shit. Motherfuckers gonna tell 10 years. Anything after that, anything, close to that, really. Anything after 5 years, motherfuckers might tell. They might do a 5 for you, but 5 or better, 5 to life or some shit, like, yeah, the federal prison system is full of niggas that told, bro. Whether you want to know that or not, that's not cool, but motherfuckers are snitching, and I say snitching because you knew, the consequences of what you're doing, and you decide to do it, knowing that it could go bad, and it go bad, and you don't ride it out like you said you was. That's a snitch, and that just means the nigga that's a weasel and don't keep his word, and he's not the kind of person you're gonna do business with. Somebody else chose not to do business with somebody because they told. I think that was Eastside Peasy. Somebody said that they didn't want to do business with Eastside Peasy because he told. I don't know why they said he told, but I think because he dry snitched on Dirk or some shit like that. Anyway, yeah, that's just the streets is pretty much dead, bro. They pretty much dead. it's a lot of zesty rappers out there that don't really got nothing to do with the other thing, but it's just like, man, damn. Ooh, it's crazy out here, bro. So that's pretty much. I mean, you know, I look, Gucci, do what you gonna do, man. But please don't be a telltale, bro. Don't tell. You know, the man going down. I don't know who told, but you know, if Gucci Man told, it's still gonna kind of disappoint me. I'm just gonna let you know. Some of you out there might be like, nah, man, he cool. I'm still bump his music. I'm not. You know, it's not even that great right now anyway. But it's just, I'm not. It's a lot of old shit he got that I still like. But if he tell and it come out that he told for real, it's just, I'm not gonna fuck with his music no more. And that's gonna be that. But anyway, it's pretty much all I got for Celebrity Spotlight. We got something going on in Worldview. It's not very much, but this segment I like to call Worldview. Okay, in Worldview, Iran warns it will target 18 specific U.S. tech companies by Wednesday. So we gotta kind of figure out which places. Hopefully, you don't work in any of those places, but we're gonna look at that and see what the hell's going on. Please stay tuned. We got a couple more things, and they're very, very interesting. So don't go to sleep because it is serious.
President Trump is calling on U.S. allies to do more to secure the Strait of Hormuz.
Why does she look like that, bro? She looked, damn, she damn near look like one of the Wayans brothers in the motherfucking on White Girls, the way she looked. Ooh, I don't know who fucking up, boy, but whoever it is, bro, that nigga probably like dudes. Let's just go, man.
This as Iran is advising employees of American tech companies in the Mideast to leave their workplaces. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
Video posted on social media shows explosions overnight in Iran near Isfahan, a city with major military targets and one of the country's nuclear sites.
The upcoming days will be decisive. Iran knows that.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the last 24 hours saw the lowest number of missiles and drones fired by Iran, but the regime continues to retaliate. This Kuwaiti oil tanker was struck off the coast of Dubai, and Iran retains its grip over the Strait of Hormuz.
We all agree that the Strait of Hormuz has to be open and it's a priority. Iran cannot have a veto over the Middle East energy flows.
But as European allies call for de-escalation, President Trump criticized them on social media, saying they should go and take the strait and oil for themselves, adding the USA won't be there to help you anymore. In a phone call with CBS News, President Trump expressed his frustration other countries aren't doing more to secure the strait, but said the U.S. is not pulling assets yet. He was also asked whether victory could be declared without removing Iran's enriched uranium. The president replied, "It's so deeply buried, it's pretty safe, but we'll make a determination."
We're not going to foreclose any option. You can't fight and win a war if you tell your adversary what you are willing to do or what you are not willing to do.
According to state media, Iran threatened to strike U.S. tech and defense companies in the region starting Wednesday, naming Apple, Google, and Boeing, among others. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Okay, so they talking about over there in that country, you know, Apple, Google, and Boeing out there, which is still, you know, valuable information, but you know, I almost kind of feel like they might be trying to get out this way with it. That's not the case. That's great. But yeah, we want to evacuate those places before Wednesday so that they don't get, you know, we don't lose more million lives in this thing. Last thing I got, okay, is apparently motherfuckers going to Mount Everest is getting drugged because it's, you know, they need money. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's like I think it's insurance fraud or something, man. They on bullshit out there, man. That ain't something we have to worry about as black people, but whatever.
For many mountaineers, climbing Everest is the ultimate dream. But behind these legendary summits lies a darker reality, an alleged system of insurance fraud. According to Nepali authorities, some mountain guides have been giving climbers medication or rotten food to make them temporarily ill in order to justify emergency helicopter evacuations.
Wow.
The climbers are then taken to hospital and the rescue is billed to their insurance, often at highly inflated prices. The profits are allegedly shared between the pilot, the hospital, and the guides involved.
Wow.
These two tourists will soon begin their climb. Their insurance company has warned them about these practices.
I was surprised. I was like, oh, wow, I had no idea.
In some cases, helicopter companies are even said to prioritize passengers who pay in cash. That's what this French climber experienced. Despite suffering from a serious lung infection and needing urgent evacuation, he was not treated as a priority.
I saw dozens of helicopters landing and taking off right in front of me. It was clear that people negotiating for seats were being prioritized over real medical emergencies.
The alleged $20 million scam has concerned this high mountain guide.
In the country who are depending on the tourism, for them is a serious matter. It will not only affect further economy, it will affect further employment.
Nepali authorities say several people have been arrested. According to local media, almost 4,800 tourists were treated at implicated hospitals between 2022 and 2025.
Well,
for many mountaineers, climbing Everest
Kind of spooky. You out there trying to, make your mark on the world, and they pulling shit like that to get you out the game, to get paid. That's kind of crazy, man. That's kind of crazy. They said it's a motherfucking a lion. I don't know if that was on my TikTok or what. It's a lion out there climbing Mount Everest. I might be able to pull that shit up. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know if it's AI or not. I kind of doubt it's AI, but I wouldn't put it past. But it's supposedly some type of, I don't know, like they're saying that this some kind of, I don't know, like a prophecy that it's on TikTok. Hold on. That if you see this lion, that it's supposed to mean something. I don't know what it's supposed to mean, but y'all think I'm bullshit. I'm trying to find it right now. I'm about to show you what I'm talking about. Y'all think I'm bullshit. I ain't bullshit. I don't know who this person is. I'm on TikTok. Take too long. Let's see. I don't know how to go to my like videos. I gotta go to my profile, I guess, first. I don't be going on the internet. So I'll be using the phone. So here you go. Here we go. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Y'all want to see this shit? I'm finna show it to you. All right, bet. All right, hold on. Let me share my screen. Share my screen really quick. Y'all think I'm bullshit. We'll check it out.
And that's supposedly climbing Mount Everest right now, and now scientists are completely baffled because they have no idea where it came from. They're pretty sure it didn't travel all the way from Africa because that would be an incredibly long journey to reach Everest, but India doesn't really have wild lions in that region, so its origin is a mystery. There's even footage of it approaching base camp. Climbers and hikers were terrified. You can hear people shouting, "Is that a lion?" as they scatter in every direction. Meanwhile, the lion calmly strolls past them and continues heading up the mountain. Some are saying it could reach the summit in about 3 hours. No one knows what it plans to do once it gets there, whether it will turn around and head back down or simply lie down at the top as the king. They've nicknamed this lion the Walker, and it's all over the internet right now. Lion the Lonely Walker. Some people are even joking that maybe he's trying to prove he's the king of the entire world, and if he's going to succeed, that's going to be epic. But what do you think? Tell me your thoughts in the comments.
Well, that's kind of interesting to see. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think is AI or what. Anyway, that's it for Worldview, man. The last thing I got though. Oh no, the last two things I got is don't be a weirdo. Now, don't be a weirdo is not sponsored yet, but if you want to, you can sponsor it. But yeah, it's pretty bad, man. I mean, I know y'all started seeing the last one I had. Well, that was one of the last couple ones. Well, it was one where it was the dude that was raping grandmas. This is kind of along the same lines, bro. But I think this one, I don't think she lived to tell about this one. So let's go ahead and see what the fuck going on, man.
Before we get into this next story, it is graphic. Oklahoma City police tell us they've arrested a man for allegedly raping and beating and killing an 85-year-old grandmother.
And the suspect arrested just days after the crime while he was allegedly committing another crime near her home.
News 4's Abigail Franklin joins us now live in studio with the details on this case. Abigail, we know DNA played a factor here.
Allie, Kevin, that's exactly right. DNA played a big role in this case. Detectives found the death of 85-year-old Ina Balch extremely suspicious. And according to court papers, DNA left at the scene led them to the possible suspect.
85-year-old Ina Balch was found dead in her Northwest OKC home in December. According to court documents, her death was extremely suspicious after she was found upright on the bed and tied up with her own clothing. It's believed she would not have been able to escape. She had multiple bruises on her body, including her face. Ina's family told police they were at the home the day before. They showed officers a video of Ina in good spirits and moving well with no bruising. Her son came to pick her up to see Christmas lights, but he found the back door open and his mother dead in her bed. During the investigation, DNA evidence was found inside her body. Her hip was broken, which caused internal bleeding, leading to her death. The DNA was put into a national database that matched 33-year-old Cordell Wilson. An arrest warrant for Wilson was issued, accusing him.
Oh my God, look at this motherfucker, bro. What the fuck kind of nigga is you, bro? And you done broke the woman's hip, you done nutted in her. Bro, you need to be, man, these niggas need to be put to death, bro.
Him of murder, breaking into Ina's home, rape, and assault. But police didn't have to look far because Wilson is already in jail for allegedly breaking into a home 2 streets away, just days before Ina's death. A family member tells me our grandma was a devout Christian. She loved the Lord, and her soul's purpose on this earth was to lead the people to Christ, adding, she was loved dearly.
Wilson was formally arraigned in court today for breaking into a home days after the death of Ina. District Attorney's Office says official charges for the death of Ina could come soon.
Yeah, that's
warning before we get into
that's the weirdo of the week right there. I don't even remember what his name was. He already in jail. Goofy. I'm trying to get to his name again. Oh, goodness. Where is it?
Her death. The DNA was put into a national database that matched 33-year-old Cordell Wilson.
Cordell, you dumb as fuck, bro. You out of here. That's our weirdo of the week, y'all. Don't be like Cordell, ladies and gentlemen. That shit is disgusting. That's it for that. But our next segment is very interesting. It is Who Got Active? My personal favorite. And it sounds like they got a nigga out in Florida that's basically a real life Dexter, which I really have trouble finding out whether I even, because it's like, okay, he got active. I'm gonna let y'all see what it is, but he took it kind of far. He took it real far. Let's go. I hope y'all stuck around for this part because this shit is crazy. I had to share this with y'all, man. This is Florida again.
We've been tracking on Earth here, and I've got Fox 35's Marie Edinger joining me live now. Marie, I know you've been looking through court documents today and learning a little bit more about this death investigation after remains were found in the.
Yeah, this is one of those stories that just gets progressively weirder and weirder and weirder.
Found where?
Found in the compound.
Yeah, this is one of those stories that just gets progressively weirder and weirder and weirder the more details that come out about it. The gist is a man was just arrested, accused of murdering a person who we know is a convicted sex offender. The murderer wasn't anything like what we typically hear, or the murder itself.
Keep in mind now, he murdered a convicted sex offender. This is y'all, so remember that part.
Man on your screen right now, Lucas Jones, he's accused of beating a man to death with a bat and then chopping him up, placing those remains in a couple of different suitcases and other bags, and then discarding those bags in the area that you're looking at on your screen right now. It's known as the compound. There are kind of a lot of bodies found in that area. It's in Palm Bay. Other tiny little details, the man is also accused of saving bits of the victim's body or his DNA on slides that you would put under a microscope.
Y'all ever see Dexter? Y'all see how he'll take a drop of the blood of his victims and put it on the slide, and he found it away. It's like his little trophy case. This dude was doing the same shit, man.
Because of that, a lot of people online are likening this case to the show called Dexter. He does the same, where he kills people, chops them up, and saves their DNA on slides. Another thing about that show is that the main character tends to go after bad guys or people who he believes are not kind or are criminals. In this case, the man is again accused of killing a person who we know is a convicted sex offender. And the police report for this arrest says that Lucas's girlfriend told police he'd also been keeping a list of other sex offenders who lived in his area. Their addresses are public record through the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And the person he's accused of killing was amongst that list, somebody who lived nearby him. So there are just new details coming out about that. The girlfriend had originally told one story to police. She later came back, recanted, and said, okay, I'll fess up. It turns out that she says Lucas had been coaching her on what to say and saying that she'd seen the victim prior. It turns out she allegedly hadn't. And eventually the victim's parents had reported him missing. I did reach out to the family today. I have not heard back. But that's what we're looking at so far. I did also talk with a woman who was very recently in a car crash with Lucas, or he actually rolled over. She was not hit, but she very nearly was. She said that he'd been speeding and he was cited for driving recklessly. And she said at the time and testified in court that she thought he should be in jail for this incident. I talked to her today because she's feeling like if he'd been in jail, then
you have to go in here and see what else is going on. She's talking too long about other shit that I don't give a fuck about. But the fact of the matter is, they done got Dexter, man. Then that's our activated individual of the week. But got a list of sex offenders that live in this area you about to go get. I don't know if he gonna make it through this, y'all, but y'all have to tune in next time. That's been the show for this week, or for today anyway. And I'll see y'all if everything goes well later on this week, maybe Thursday. So watch this in its entirety. Go back if you just got here, rewind it, watch the whole thing, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. And if you got anything out of the episode, man, I really appreciate y'all if y'all, show me some love monetarily on the Cash App. But if not, that's fine. I won't hold it against you. But that's been our time today. Again, this is Jamerson Ballard of R&R signing off, and y'all have a productive week. I will see y'all next time. Hasta luego, man.